I was in and out of A&E, I couldn't breathe, I was going to intensive care and breathing support and all sorts.
It was just like a bloodbath. I remember waking up and it was the whole bed was soaking and I couldn't walk. I just remember collapsing onto the floor and just crawling to the bathroom on my hands and knees. I was in so much pain.
Just not being bereaved, leaking, being in pain, collapsing in pain, just not going out, social life, I didn't want to be around people because you never know when you're going to leak, when you're going to bleed.
So unfortunately, from my experiences, the only way of me getting a diagnosis was to have invasive surgery, which is a lot to go through, but it's the only way that they can find out if that's the case. So that was in 2018. So when I woke from surgery, I was then, I don't know if I was relieved because I think there was a matter of thinking, well, it's not in my head, I have got something, but now what?
I think they just thought, well, they just said, you know, you are a woman, these are period pains, and well, that's it. And yeah, you're led to believe, right, okay, so this is just period pains, and almost makes you feel weak, because why can't you know, carry on with this pain like every other woman does?
It makes you feel lonely because nobody understands the level of pain that you're in. Nobody understands what endometriosis is, so how do you expect them to listen to you and actually feel what you're feeling?
Endometriosis is a relatively common, potentially debilitating condition affecting 1 in 10 women of reproductive age group or those born female at birth. So endometriosis is a condition defined by the presence of endometrial cells outside the womb, and it causes chronic inflammatory reaction, scar tissue and adhesions. So several types have been described. Superficial endometriosis is when it goes in the pelvic peritoneum. Then we've got deep endometriosis, which goes in the bladder, bowel, ureter, sigmoid colon. We've got ovarian endometriosis, when the endometriotic deposits go in the ovaries, and rare cases are outside the pelvis, like it can go to liver, spleen, kidneys, pancreas, and even to the brain. So if I give you some facts about endometriosis, 27 is the average age when a diagnosis is made. 60% are misdiagnosed. 68% see 3 or 4 different clinicians before a diagnosis is made. So we have to make an effort that women's voices must be heard.
I remember going to A&E and I felt so dismissed because I am a woman. And that was really obvious, especially when it was like male doctors and gynecologists. And I remember once saying to me, is this girl really here for a period?
Saw a general gynecologist and he said I was too young to have anything wrong with me. I was around 20, so there was like, you're fit and healthy, you know, you're only 20, there's nothing wrong with you. I don't think you've got endometriosis. I'd explain all my symptoms, you know, the bleeding. I'd pass out from how bad the pain was. It was awful. It was relentless.
You're just a woman. It's just a part of the menstrual cycle. Deal with it. These words are being dismissive.
I think misogyny is huge. You know, you're a woman, deal with it, basically. This is a monthly thing. You know, it's ongoing. You know, it's just a period, or it's in your head. It's not as bad as it is. And it's not the case. I think when you've got chronic pain with that and the symptoms, it needs to be taken seriously.
So impact is physical, mental, emotional, psychological, sexual, and psychosexual. And yes, it impacts on other issues as well, because it can cause problem to the bladder, to the bowel as well. And if it's spread to the lungs, then she can be coughing blood. So many times they end up going to A&E. And again, no diagnosis is made.
So my symptoms are I get quite a bloated tummy that swells quite a lot, which can be really uncomfortable. I can't lift my bowels that much. I could go once every 2 weeks. The pain is just horrific.
I could describe the pain and symptoms in so many different words, but how it feels like right now, it's like there's barbed wire wrapped around my lung all the way down to every organ down here, my bladder, kidney, bowel, uterus, and it's like it's being pulled tighter and tighter and tighter and someone's set it on fire, and it's just like a constant ripping, stabbing pain in all the organs. Yeah, it's excruciating.
So with endometriosis, it comes with really intense pain, as well as other symptoms. The thing that I would liken the pain to is labour pain, to childbirth at its worst. And obviously having children, I know that. Beforehand, I didn't know what that pain was like, but imagine that was what it was similar to. And it's like the contractions that you get when you're in labour, so it can take your breath away. It can stop you in your tracks, so you can be up getting ready for work, be absolutely fine, and then 5 minutes later this intense pain comes on and you've got to sit down or lay down.
My family, it's had an impact. My partner does a lot. He does a lot for me. He does a lot for my children. My daughter thinks I'm dying because I spend more time in bed than I do anything. Thursday, they found me collapsed in the bathroom. Both my children. They didn't know what to do. They went and got my partner. But it's devastating. They see blood coming out of me. They don't understand what's wrong with me. And it's having an impact on them.
So what I want is one-stop endometriosis clinic. One-stop endometriosis clinic means that a patient with suspected or confirmed endometriosis comes to that clinic, where we have 2 or 3 GPs with special interest in gynae, consultants who are specialists in endometriosis, diagnostic facilities like abdominal scan, transvaginal scan, or 3D ultrasound scan, and MRI scan. The emphasis is on making early diagnosis.
The change I want is longer statutory menstrual leave because 2 days is just not enough.
No to misogyny. I want action and more research and support for all women suffering with this condition.
The one thing I'd like to get across, and that's really important for me, is that women feel heard, and that when you do go to the GP, that you listen to, that it's not dismissed.
I want my voice heard for future generations. My daughter, I am worried to death that she is going to be in the same position as me, and I want things to change so she doesn't have to suffer like I did.
I want to see women being believed and young girls being listened to, so they don't end up feeling suicidal at the age of 15.
There needs to be more research to endometriosis and more treatment options. We do not want to be dismissed. We want to be heard, and we want our symptoms to be treated.
no one listens, no one cares. You know, it is what it is.
I wasn't
Or you go
believed
to
for
the
such a
point
long
when
time.
you know, I don't sleep.
I was
for like
constantly
3 days.
labeling
dismissed
us
and being
soft
told it's not
or
possible
dramatic,
to have pain all over your body from
nothing
head to
wrong
toe.
with you.
It's like more of
Then
a
years go
stabbing
by,
type of pain.
The surgery was about 8
twisting
hours
knife
long.
crystal.
I had sort of like some stents.
Dismissed by doctors, not investigated. It was only when I went back to see a female doctor that she referred me for an X-ray. And
They
they
just think
confirmed
you
that
can't
I had a
handle
broken
it,
rib.
really.
I'd been going into work
That sort
with a
of
broken
thing.
rib.
And
Had a new belly button put in.
women,
You know, struggling to
doctors
breathe.
and surgeons,
was bedridden.
because if they don't
My
experience
parents
what
became
you
like full-time
experience,
carers because
it's all in your head.
even things like eating was impossible some days, and showering for myself, I was just in that much pain all over my body.